Hello and welcome to Sport This Morning. I'm Cecilia Omogbe.
It's great to have you join us again. I'm Tayo Salam.
We get on with the show, and it's match day 3 from the channel's National Kids Cup Season 9. Expecting more goals today. Yeah,
apart from the goals that surely will come, two teams from Kaduna and Kwara have already qualified for the quarterfinals. So we will find out the remaining 6 teams that will make it to the last 8 today.
Yeah, we'll find out later today. Also on the program, whose crown will it be? There's a prediction by a certain cow that is going to be for Ayers. But then, Europa League final is tonight, and who will take it? Will it be Manchester United or Ayers?
Interesting one. I mean, the Ajax coach, Peter Bosz, surely has his eyes on the Europa League trophy. But for Jose Mourinho, he's got his eyes on the Europa League trophy, as well as the UEFA Champions League spot. So after 90 minutes or extra time tonight, we will find out, who has the prize. Okay, from football now, let's talk about basketball. And the Boston Celtics have taken a 3-1 lead in the Eastern Conference Finals, and that came courtesy Kyrie Irving. I mean, the game, the Celtics won Game 4. They had to really rally for that one, 112-99. But Kyrie Irving, when it wasn't looking too good for the Celtics, stepped up big time, scoring a playoff career high of 42 points.
And that's why Cavs will have to take Game 4.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
But before we continue with the NBA, somewhat.
Okay, we'll just start with a tribute to late State House correspondents talking about Chukwuma Onuekwusi. You know, he just wasn't a news reporter or doing different reports for channels, television. He also was involved in sports, and remember vividly last year, during the Olympics and all that. So he was really, giving up updates from the State House when the president met with the athletes, and of course even the how many years wait, for the golden generation, talking about the likes of Nduka Mbadi, for them to receive, what Muhammadu Buhari promised them. So he was also there to filing that report. Just we'll go down memory lane and just recall, most of the reports he did for
Yeah, surely. I mean, the summary of everything you've said basically is the late Chukwuma Onuekwusi held us down from the State House when it came to sports. Last year was the biggest event in sports was the Rio Olympics. He held us down on that occasion with fantastic reports, both when the presidents received the athletes, and so it was a rude shock to the system when we found out after the show yesterday.
Yeah, it was a rude shock. We'll just take a look at those reports again. We know that his memory will definitely live on with us. Yeah.
The athletes and footballers file out one after the other for group photo and presidential handshake. The president urges the sports sector to keep up the momentum of success at all times and in all competitions. He says, but for the dwindling economy, he would have spoiled these young lads the more.
What we are offering you today is not payment or compensation for winning laurels for your country. Rather, it is a token of appreciation for your efforts and patriotism while competing for your fatherland.
Each member of the 1985 team will get 2 million naira, while their coaches will smile home with 1.5 million naira each. Members of the Victoria's 2015 side will go home with 1.2 million each, and the coaches will receive 900,000 naira each. The assistant coaches are also rewarded with 600,000 naira each. A member of the Dream Team that won the Under-23 African Nations Cup in Senegal last year gets 600,000 naira each, while the coaches go home with 500,000 naira each. Some of the beneficiaries expressed their feelings about the gesture.
At the end, what we have struggled for, every one of us, for over 30 years, has come to pass today, happening as big as a miracle. And this is to show that miracle still happens.
It feels as if we've been vindicated, you know, in a way that we've been crying, this thing, they've not done this, they've not done that. But eventually, you know, he has come out after 30 years to redeem this promise. It is unbelievable. It is not all about money. It's actually acknowledging what you have done.
Well, I think it's a good thing. The most important thing is that the athletes, they were privileged to achieve success in whatever they are doing, representing Nigeria. And it's good that the president, you know, were able to make our time today and host everybody.
For the organizers of the show and other well-meaning Nigerians, this gesture by the president should challenge Nigerian youths to strive for excellence at all times.
Our reward system, which hitherto would have been neglected, had been revived. The president, you could see the emotion he displayed when he was relating with the 1985 team. You could see the personal attachment he had to them. That is to say that the president believed that you must reward appropriately anything that one has done good.
It's not about money, it's not about the amount of money given. It's the fact that you were acknowledged and regarded, and you could see that he came quite on time and he actually did all what he said he was going to do. So we are really, really encouraged. And it will trigger not just the Football Federation, but other federations to do more for the country.
A minute silence was observed for the souls of those who departed, whose relations were on hand to receive their awards on their behalf. Chukwuma Onuekwusi, Channels Television News. Perhaps to underscore the importance of sport to the administration, the President and the Vice President were present at the official handover of Team Nigeria to the Nigerian Olympic Committee. Poor funding and inadequate preparation has ended here today.
Let me equally assure you that the federal government is fully committed to our delegation's successful participation in the Rio Olympic Games and will ensure that funds budgeted for the Games are released without further delay. It is therefore imperative that funds provided for the Games are utilized judiciously. In this regard, any official who has no business at the Games should stay at home to cheer the team from here, and if they must travel to the Olympics, they should do so at their own expense.
He presented the national flag to the president, who subsequently handed the Team Nigeria over to the chairman of the Olympic Committee. Then the investiture on the president as the grand patron of the Nigerian Olympic Committee. Occasion also showcased the costume the athletes will parade during the march past at the opening ceremony for the president to see. Chukwuma Onuekwusi, Channels Television News.
Yeah, some of the reports he did for sports in 2016, one in January and one in July before the Olympians departed for the Olympic Games in Rio. That was in July. So Chukwuma Onuekwusi, we know one word most of us used to describe him, everyone calls him Mr. President. And also the fact that you would say it's a very, very dedicated reporter, a correspondent, someone we all know we're definitely gonna miss.
Yeah, definitely. Gone, but not forgotten. That's the way we have to put it. And our thoughts and prayers with all the loved ones that he leaves behind.